Students, so we will start our fourth lesson, okay, that is molecular basis of inheritance. So you know the meaning of inheritance. So inheritance means characters are transformed through genetic material from one generation to another generation, or characters are transferred from parents to their offsprings, okay. So that mechanism is called as inheritance. So title of our lesson is molecular basis of inheritance, means which molecules are responsible for this inheritance that we have to study. So I think in 9th standard or 10th standard we have studied about that. DNA and RNA, these are the molecules which are responsible for this inheritance, okay. So can you recall what is nucleic acid? So all of you know that inside the cell there is a nucleus, and inside the nucleus there is a genetic material like DNA, okay, deoxyribonucleic acid. Then what are the types of nucleic acid? So there are two types, DNA and RNA. So DNA means deoxyribonucleic acid and RNA ribonucleic acid. So these are the two types of nucleic acid. What are the functions of nucleic acid? So as I have told, DNA is the or deoxyribonucleic acid is responsible for transfer of characters from parents to their offsprings, or it is responsible for inheritance, and RNA help for that process of transfer of characters. Then what are the functions of nucleic acid, that we have studied. Then fourth one, what is the difference between DNA in prokaryotes and eukaryotes, okay. So you have studied cells are of two types, prokaryotes and eukaryotes. So in eukaryotic cell, all cell organelles are there, like mitochondria, chloroplast, okay. So membrane bound cell organelles are there, plastids, etc. And in prokaryotes there is such no membrane bound organelles are absent, and there is a only free DNA or RNA is present. That cell is called as prokaryotic cell. For example, bacterial cell is a prokaryotic cell because there is only DNA or RNA is present, okay. Then the discovery of DNA. So in the first part of this lesson we have to study how this DNA is discovered and how scientists found that DNA is the molecule which is responsible for this inheritance process. So some important experiments are there which shows that this DNA is the material or a molecule which is responsible for inheritance process, okay. So one by one we have to study these experiments. So here there was a scientist, Friedrich Mischer, and from pus cells he collected pus from bandage, and then he cleaned that pus and he separated cells, and then again from cells he separated the nuclei. Nuclei means single nucleus, many nuclei. So he separated the nucleus of these cells, and from that he separated one unique chemical which he called as a nuclein, because this chemical was separated from nucleus, okay. Then this nuclein has high phosphorus content, okay. So and it was in acidic in properties, so he named it as a nucleic acid. So in this way this word nucleic acid come into existence, okay. Then by the early 19th we knew that Mischer's nuclein was a mixture of proteins and nucleic acid, okay. Then there are two kinds of nucleic acid, DNA and RNA, okay. Then afterward many scientists tried to prove that DNA is a genetic material, okay. So some important experiments are given in your textbook, we have to study that. By the early 19th, geneticists knew that genes control the inheritance of traits, that genes are located on chromosome, and that chemically chromosomes are mainly composed of DNA and protein. So as we know that in our cell there are inside the cell there is a nucleus, and inside the nucleus there are chromosomes. You must have studied in 11th standard, okay. So inside the nucleus there are chromosomes, okay, and these chromosomes are mainly composed of DNA and proteins, and these chromosomes get transferred from one generation to another generation. Initially, most geneticists thought that protein are large complex molecules and store information needed to govern cell metabolism. So in the initial period, many scientists, geneticists means which study genetics, scientists which study genetics, they are called as a geneticist. So they thought that the protein are large, they are complex, and they must be store this information which is needed for metabolism, means various physiological process take place in the cell. So they are governed by these proteins. Hence it was assumed that protein cause the variations observed within the species. So variation means some changes are there. Parents and their offsprings are not exactly alike. So there are some differences between them. So they are called as the variations. So they assumed that or thought that proteins are the molecules which are responsible for these differences or variations, okay. Then on the other hand, DNA thought to be small simple molecule whose composition varied little among species. So scientists thought that DNA is a small and simple molecule. Over the time, this idea about DNA were shown to be wrong. So but afterward, scientists came to know that DNA is not simple and small molecule, but it is very long molecule, a large molecule, and it varied tremendously within among species. So as we know that no two person have a same DNA. So identical twin also do not have a same DNA. So lot of variation is there. From every organism has a unique DNA which will not match with the DNA of other organism, okay. Then variations in the DNA molecule are different than the variation in shape, electrical charge and function shown by proteins. So it is not surprising that most researchers initially favored protein as the genetic material. So most of the scientists initially thought that protein is the molecule, or proteins are responsible for this inheritance or transfer of characteristics, but it is the DNA which is responsible. Over a period of roughly 25 years, geneticists become convinced that DNA are not protein, was the genetic material. So afterward they came to know that DNA is not a protein, but it is a genetic material. So let us study three important contributions that helped cause the shift of opinion. So three important experiments are there which proved that DNA is the material which is responsible for this inheritance, okay. So let us start first experiment, Griffith experiment, okay. In 1928, British medical officer Frederick Griffith performed an experiment on bacterium Streptococcus pneumoniae, which causes pneumonia in human and other mammals. So this Griffith carried out an experiment on a bacterial species Streptococcus pneumoniae, and this Streptococcus species was causing pneumonia in human and other mammals, okay. Griffith used two strains or two genetic varieties of Streptococcus to find a cure for pneumonia, which was a common cause of death at that time. So they were doing research on this bacteria because it was very dangerous and it was causing pneumonia in human beings also, which was leading to death. So that's why they were studying these two bacteria, and there are two strains, means two types or two genetic forms were there of this bacteria. First one was virulent, smooth, pathogenic and encapsulated S type. So two types were then, S type and R type. Two varieties, or we can say two strains, means two genetic combinations were there. One was S type and another was R type. So S type means smooth type, and it was also pathogenic. Pathogen means which cause disease. So they were causing this pneumonia. And encapsulated means which have a capsule. This bacteria contain was containing capsule, and another type was non-virulent, rough, non-pathogenic and non-capsulated R type. R means R stand for rough. Okay, so they were rough, non-pathogenic means they do not cause this pneumonia, and non-capsulated means capsule was absent in this R type. So understood. This Griffith was doing research on which bacteria? Streptococcus pneumoniae. And what was the character? Why they were doing this research? Because it was causing pneumonia in human beings and other mammals. Okay, and it was leading to death also. And there were two strains, means two types of genetic combination was there in this bacteria. One was pathogenic and having capsule. So this pathogenic was smooth, that's why it is called as a S type. And another is R type, means it was rough and non-pathogenic, means it did not cause pneumonia, and capsule was also absent. That's why S and R type. S means smooth, pathogenic and capsulated, and R means rough, non-pathogenic means do not cause disease or pneumonia, and non-capsulated means capsule was absent. Okay, so these two types were there in this bacteria. Griffith conducted 4 experiments on this bacteria. First, when he injected bacteria of strain R to mice, the mice survived because it did not develop pneumonia. So this scientist Griffith carried out 4 steps in his experiment. First step was he injected bacteria to R strain, means rough. So this rough strain or rough type of bacteria were non-pathogenic, means they were not causing pneumonia. Okay, so when this R strain was injected in mice, as we know that mice are mammals, so they were also affected by this bacteria. Pneumonia was also developed in these mice, that's why they were taken for experiment. So in the first step, Griffith injected R type of bacteria into mice which were non-pathogenic. Therefore, it did not develop pneumonia in this mice. Second, when he injected bacteria of strain S to mice, the mice developed pneumonia and died. So S type or smooth type of bacteria were pathogenic, means they can cause pneumonia. That's why mice died. Okay. Then in third experiment, he injected heat-killed strain S bacteria to mice. Once again the mice survived. Then what did he do? He injected heat-killed, means he killed the S type of bacteria with heat, and then he died. When he heat-killed bacteria, he injected into the mice, and to his surprise, these mice survived. Okay. In fourth experiment, he mixed heat-killed S bacteria with live bacteria of strain R and injected to mice. So in the fourth step, what did he do? He take heat-killed S bacteria and he mixed this heat-killed S bacteria with live bacteria of R type, rough type. So then the mice died. Okay. So how it is possible? As he mixed this R type live bacteria into S type heat-killed bacteria, R type converted into S type, which are pathogenic, means which can cause pneumonia. Okay, means in the fourth step, when he mix heat-killed S bacteria with live bacteria of R type, the mice get infected by pneumonia and died. So this shows that in the fourth step, R type bacteria become S type or pathogenic. The mice died and Griffith recovered large number of live strain S bacteria from the blood of dead mice. So in this way, he carried out 4 steps, which was the first step. In first step, he injected R type to the mice and mice survived because R type of bacteria were non-pathogenic, they do not cause pneumonia, so mice survived. In the second step, he injected S strain means smooth strain, or S means smooth strain type of this bacteria which were pathogenic, means cause pneumonia to mice, and mice died. And in the third step he injected heat killed strain S bacteria. So as they are killed by using heat, they do not cause pneumonia, and mice survived in the third step. And in fourth step, which was very important, he mixed heat killed S bacteria with live bacteria of R type. Okay, and he find that mice died as the pneumonia is developed, which shows that the R type non-pathogenic bacteria become S type, because they have taken something from heat killed S type of bacteria, which make them, which convert these R type into S type, and they cause pneumonia into mice. In these 4 experiments, something had caused a harmless strain R bacteria to change into deadly S strain. So in the last 4th step, he came to know that something is transferred from S bacteria to R bacteria, which convert R bacteria to pathogenic S type bacteria. Griffith showed that the change was genetic. He suggested that genetic material from heat killed strain S bacteria had somehow changed the living strain R bacteria into strain S bacteria. So from this he come to know that there is a something in heat killed S type of bacteria which changed the R bacteria into S bacteria, and that's why pneumonia is developed in these mice after injecting R bacteria. Griffith concluded that the R strain bacteria must have taken up to what he called a transforming principle from heat killed bacteria, which allowed R strain to get transported into smooth coat bacterium and become virulent. So from this he come to know that R type bacteria, which was not causing pneumonia, has taken something from the S type of bacteria which were killed by heat, by using heat, and due to become this R type also become pathogenic and can cause pneumonia in the mice. So he called it as a transforming principle, which is taken by R type of bacteria from S type, and due to which they become pathogenic and cause pneumonia in the mice. So here diagram is also shown here. First of all, R type is injected, which will not cause pneumonia. In second step, smooth strain is S type of bacteria are injected, and pneumonia has developed, which leads to death of the mice. Then third one, heat killed smooth bacteria. Okay, means S type of bacteria are injected, but they are heat killed, they are already killed, and they do not cause pneumonia, and mice is live. And in the fourth step, rough strain means R type heat killed bacteria become S type, and they cause pneumonia, and mouse is dead. So in this way this experiment was done. Then so here the next experiment was Avery, McCarthy and MacLeod's experiment. So in 1944, after 10 years of research and experimentation, US microbiologist Oswald T. Avery, Colin MacLeod and Maclean M. McCarthy first evidence to prove the DNA is a genetic material through the experiment. So these 3 scientists proved that DNA is the material which is responsible for inheritance. So their experiment was very simple. They purified DNA, RNA, proteins and other materials from cell-free extract of S cell strain and mixed with the heat kill S strain and R cell separately to confirm which one could transform living R cell into S cell. So what they have done, they separated DNA, RNA and proteins from the cells, okay, of the S cell, and mixed them into the heat killed S strain and R cell separately, and then they come to know that DNA was only able to transform this R type of bacteria into S type of bacteria. Okay, when they mix this DNA of the S cells into R type of bacteria, R type convert into S type and become pathogenic. Understood this? What they have done? They have separated protein, DNA and RNA, and then they separately mixed heat killed S type of bacteria with R cells. Okay, and then they come to know that only when DNA is mixed with R cells, the R cells become S cells, or R type of bacteria become S type of bacteria, which can cause the pneumonia. Understood? So they what they have done? They have separated DNA, RNA and proteins from the heat killed S type of bacteria, and then they separately mix with the R type of bacteria, and they observed that only R type of bacteria which are mixed with DNA, it become pathogenic or which can cause disease. Okay, then they also discovered that protein digesting enzyme protease and RNA digesting enzyme RNase did not affect transformation. Then what the next step they have done? They have mixed this enzyme, protein digesting enzyme protease, means it will destroy the protein, and then they also mix RNA digesting enzyme RNase, and then they see that though they destroyed protein and RNA, still then this transformation of R type into S type take place. So from this they came to know that protein and RNA do not affect this transformation of R type into S type. This shows that what is responsible? DNA is responsible for this transformation. DNA digested with DNase did not inhibit the transformation. Then they again mix the enzyme DNase, which will destroy the DNA, and then they came to know that when DNA is destroyed, then they inhibit means stop. The transformation has stopped. So this shows that for the transformation of R type into S type, DNA is necessary. When DNA is destroyed by enzyme DNase, the transformation inhibited means stopped. Okay, suggesting that DNA caused the transformation. So when DNA is absent, this transformation from R type to S type bacteria is not possible, which shows that the DNA is the responsible for this transformation. These experiments proved that the transforming principle is DNA, but all biologists were not convinced. So though they have shown that DNA is the only responsible molecule, some biologists were not convinced. They were not ready to accept the fact that DNA is the material which is responsible for this inheritance. Finally, Alfred Hershey and Martha Chase proved that DNA is the genetic material. So one more experiment is there, Hershey Chase, and in this experiment he used the radioactive phosphorus and radioactive sulfur. So as we know that radioactive means which constantly gives out radiations. Okay, and phosphorus is the part of DNA molecule contain phosphorus, while as sulfur is present in proteins. Okay, that's why this radioactive phosphorus and radioactive sulfur was used in his experiment. Hershey and Chase work with the viruses that infect bacteria. So bacteriophage means viruses which infect the or which cause disease in the bacteria that you have studied. That bacteria, that virus is called as bacteriophage. Then which are composed of DNA and protein. So they use the bacteriophage or virus, and which was made by DNA and protein. They used the radioactive phosphorus P32 in the medium for some viruses and radioactive sulfur for some others. So they used the radioactive phosphorus and radioactive sulfur. Why radioactive phosphorus? Because phosphorus is the part of DNA molecule and sulfur is part of proteins. They grew some viruses on a medium that contain radioactive phosphorus and some others on medium that contain radioactive sulfur. So they grow some viruses in the medium which contain radioactive phosphorus and some on medium which contain radioactive sulfur. Viruses grown in the presence of radioactive phosphorus contain radioactive DNA but not radioactive protein because DNA contain phosphorus. So viruses grown in the presence of radioactive phosphorus, they will contain radioactive DNA because DNA will absorb these radiations. So in the DNA will become radioactive, and same is the case for radioactive sulfur. So the viruses which are grown in the radioactive sulfur, they will contain radioactive protein because protein also contain sulfur. They do not contain phosphorus. So protein will become radioactive. So the viruses which are grown in the radioactive sulfur, they will contain radioactive protein, and viruses which are grown in the radioactive phosphorus, they will contain radioactive DNA because phosphorus is present in DNA. Understood? Then radioactive phages were allowed to infect E. coli bacteria. Now these viruses become radioactive because they are kept in the radioactive medium. That's why they become radioactive. So radioactive phages were allowed to, phages means viruses, they were allowed to infect the E. coli bacteria grown on the medium containing normal P and S means phosphorus and sulfur. Then as the infection proceed, the viral coats were removed. So after some time, after the infection of these viruses into the E. coli bacteria, their viral coats were removed with the help of centrifuge. Centrifuge is a machine which will separate the protein coat of these viruses. Bacteria which were infected by viruses with the radioactive DNA were radioactive, indicating that DNA was the material that passed from viruses to bacteria. So bacteria which were infected by viruses with the radioactive DNA were radioactive because this radioactive DNA was transferred from the viruses to bacteria, and this shows that only DNA can be transferred from these viruses to bacteria. Then indicating that DNA was the material that passed from the viruses to bacteria. Bacteria which were infected by viruses having radioactive sulfur, means some viruses having radioactive sulfur because they were grown in the medium which contain radioactive sulfur. So they have a radioactive sulfur means radioactive protein, were not radioactive. So as the proteins are not transferred from viruses to bacteria, the bacteria were not, these E. coli bacteria do not contain this radioactive sulfur because sulfur was present in the proteins and proteins were not transferred from viruses to bacteria. This indicates that proteins from the viruses did not enter the bacteria. DNA is therefore the genetic material that is passed from viruses to bacteria. So this shows that DNA is the material which is passed from viruses to bacteria. Proteins are not transferred from viruses to bacteria. Okay, that's why radioactive sulfur was, they were not radioactive. Okay, then in other words, sometime after infection, radioactivity for P and S was tested. Only radioactive, P means phosphorus and S means sulfur, was found inside the bacterial cell, indicating that DNA is the genetic material. So with the help of diagram also we can explain here. In the first part, this is a bacteriophage or a virus which can infect the E. coli bacteria. Okay, so it is a bacteriophage. Bacteriophage means virus which can cause infection in bacteria. Then it is sulfur labeled protein capsule. So their capsule is sulfur labeled. Capsule means outer protein capsule, protein coat or capsule, and it is sulfur labeled. That's why it is shown in the red color. Okay, then this bacteria infect the this virus infect the bacterial cell, square bacterial cell. Then the DNA is in the black color and capsule is in the red color. No sulfur detected in the cell. So when the bacterial cell is means sulfur is not detected in that bacterial cell, which is red in color. Understood? Red color shows that sulfur is there in the outer protein coat, okay, and that is not transferred into the bacterial cell, okay. And in the second part, in the second diagram, phosphorus labeled DNA. So DNA is shown in the red color and phosphorus is part of DNA, so it become radioactive. Then such type of viruses infected this E. coli bacteria, and then this DNA, which is red in color, that is get that is when it is injected into bacteria, we can see here red color DNA, okay, means which is radioactive, okay. Radioactive phosphorus is there, that's why it is shown. And after centrifugation, means after removing the coat, you can see phosphorus is detected in the cell. So from where this radioactive phosphorus is there? It is from the virus, because virus contain the radioactive phosphorus, which is transferred to the bacterial cell. So in this way, here you can see the sulfur is not transferred from virus to bacteria. This red color sulfur is shown by red color, which is radioactive, okay. So finally in the bacterial cell, sulfur is not detected, that's why red color is not shown, okay. So this shows that the proteins are not transferred from virus to bacteria, but DNA is transferred from virus to bacteria. So this shows that DNA is the material which is responsible for this inheritance, which get transferred from one generation to another generation. Here in this experiment, it is transferred from virus to bacteria and not proteins. So from this experiment, it was proved by scientists that DNA is the material which is transferred, which is responsible for this inheritance, or which is responsible for transfer of inheritance or transfer of genetic material, okay. So with this we have studied the 3 experiments which tried to prove that DNA is the material which is responsible for transfer of characters. So first experiment was Griffith's experiment. In his experiment, he used two strains or two types of this bacteria, S type and R type, okay. And which were the 4 steps? In the first step, he injected R type of bacteria, rough strain means, which were not pathogenic, means they were not causing disease, so mouse alive. In second step, Griffith injected smooth or S type of bacteria which were pathogenic, means cause disease or pneumonia in mouse and mouse dead. In the third step, he injected heat killed S type of bacteria. Now they are heat killed, so they do not cause pneumonia in the mouse and mouse alive. And in the fourth step, he mixed heat killed S bacteria with R bacteria, and due to S type of R type of bacteria become S type pathogenic, and they cause pneumonia in the mouse and mouse dead. So this shows that there is Griffith come to know that there is something which he called as a transforming principle, which make this R type of bacteria become S type, and then it become pathogenic and kill the mouse, okay. Then the next experiment is Avery, McCarthy and MacLeod. So in which they separated protein, DNA and RNA, and then they mix this heat killed S type into R type separately, and then they came to know that only DNA can transfer this RA to R type of strain into S type of strain, okay, which shows that DNA is the material which is responsible for this transformation. Then they again use enzyme like protease and RNase which destroy this protein and RNA. Though the RNA and proteins are destroyed, there was a transformation, but when DNAs which destroy the DNA, when they mix these DNAs, that inhibit means stop the transformation. So when the DNA is absent, this transformation from R to S was not possible. This shows that DNA is the molecule which is responsible. And then the last experiment is Hershey and Chase experiment. Okay, so in this experiment he used radioactive phosphorus and radioactive sulfur. Why he used radioactive phosphorus? Because phosphorus molecules are present in the DNA and sulfur is present in the protein. And then he injected this viruses which are grown in the radioactive phosphorus and radioactive sulfur. Then he injected it into E. coli bacteria. Okay, and then he came to know that when these radioactive fags were allowed to infect the E. coli bacteria grown on the medium containing normal P and S, then he saw that only the DNA was the material that passed the viruses to bacteria. Bacteria which were infected by viruses having radioactive sulfur were not radioactive, because these proteins cannot be transferred from viruses to bacteria, and only radioactive DNA was transferred from virus to bacteria. That's why the bacteria become radioactive due to radioactive DNA. Okay, so in this way we have finished all these 3 experiments. You should read the textbook. Okay, so today we will stop here. Thank you.